What's up, guys? Rick from DFS On Demand here with an update on the GC Cup. I was traveling last week, so did not get a chance to do an update, but as you'll see, you didn't miss much. It's been a pretty much of a bloodbath the first couple weeks for us in this GC Cup style contest. So let's look back at the waste management here, and we'll look at our lineup from last week. And if you can see this, there we go. We went with Keegan, Joel Dahman, Tony Finau, Terrell Hatton, Zach Johnson, and Xander Schauffele. The idea around this was to take chalk where we thought it was going to be good, which was Finau, and I actually think it's pronounced Damon, Joel Damon. And both of those guys were indeed super chalky, and both went on to miss the cut. So we only got 4 of 6 through. And the 4 guys that we got through, I was pretty happy with the ownership to have 3 single-digit players. And Keegan at 14% was exactly what we were looking for. Xander was the guy that we were kind of putting all of our eggs in one basket, right? We knew we were going to get a stud at a low ownership. For him to come in at 6.3%, I was absolutely thrilled. Hatton played well, T15. Xander finished in a tie for 10th. And then Zach Johnson actually got hot on Friday, shot a 67. It was one of the rounds of the day, but kind of, couldn't back it up on the weekend, ended up finishing a T39, and then Keegan comes in and finishes T67. So looking back at this, I don't know if it was a great lineup. I'm happy with the way that it panned out, having Xander, missing on the Finau chalk, missing on the Damon chalk, 2 guys whose ownership was 52% combined. Was really killer. And then combine that with the fact that we did not have Ricky Fowler as I show you the winning lineup. Ricky Fowler was owned in 36% of GC Cup lineups. I believe he was the highest owned player. When a player is 36% owned, goes out and wins it, and you don't have a piece of him, you're in bad shape already. Combine that with a couple of missed cuts, and we didn't have much of a chance. So we ended up finishing 108th out of, I believe it's 144 each week, a third straight missed cut for us. So here are the season-long standings. We are living down towards the bottom here. We're currently in 129th. And I was doing a lot of reflecting on this, and I'm not entirely surprised at where we're at. I think what you guys have seen is I do fall victim to the learning curve quite a bit. We noticed that with the one and done where we tend to overthink things, or we tend to tinker on things a lot and are constantly trying new strategies to figure out what's best. And it takes us a while to catch up. Now, with that being said, usually when we figure it out, we do pretty well. So this year for the one and done, we've already cashed more money in the first 4 weeks than we did in the first 11 weeks of last year. So we figured out a better strategy and we went with it. I'm not sure I'm at that place in the GC Cup yet. I think right now I'm just trying a lot of different strategies and trying to figure out what works. So I'll tend to be behind a little bit at the beginning. But then once we figure this out, I expect for there to be some pretty good results. All right, so what are we looking for this week, and what are we going with? So again, another week where we have a course rotation, and this time it's 3 courses. It's Spyglass Hill, it's Monterey Peninsula, it's Pebble Beach. And what I've settled on is trying to go with a bit more of a balanced lineup. I think getting 6 through is going to be so critical, not only this week, but in so many weeks, that I've opted to take one really cheap flyer in Matt Every, and I get it. He's $6,200. He only has 4 rounds under his belt this year. I'm not super stoked about rolling out Matt Every here, but what it allowed me to do was pile in as many of these other guys as I can. Jordan Spieth, Adam Scott, Ches Reavie, Brandt Snedeker, and Cameron Champ. Those 5 guys are a core that I feel really good about. Spieth is a guy I think that can win this for only $9,400. He's $2,000 cheaper than Dustin Johnson. I think he's a must play in nearly every format. Adam Scott and Ches Reavie were guys that In a 150 lineups or 20 lineups, I'm not sure how much exposure I'd have to these guys, but in one lineup, I felt like being able to construct it in this way gave us a pretty good shot. So I thought, okay, let's throw in Adam Scott, who's playing well. Let's throw in Ches Reavie, who's playing well. Those guys could certainly be traps here. But when we were going through the DFS preview, going through the core stats, they both really popped off. They're both playing well. I'm going to try one more week. They get a big price increase this week, but we're going to go back to them and see if it burns us again. Those could be the trap guys this week, Reavie and Scott. And then Snedeker, always solid, $8,200. I thought that was a good price. And then Cameron Champ. Now that everyone's off of him, I feel like this is a chance to get back on him. He's $8,000. Strokes gained off the tee still through the roof, which is going to be important this week, especially at Pebble, and they start to narrow those fairways. And if he can get a little bit hot with the putter, I think he can put up a lot of numbers. And remember, kind of going a little bit deeper into that, we're going to get 3 rounds from all of these guys. So I was more willing to plug in Matt Every, because if he misses the cut, we're only missing 1 round. So if he stinks it up, we're still going to get some level of a floor from him. And Cameron Champ, the same thing. If he misses the cut, he's probably going to make a lot of birdies along the way. That's his MO. So I thought they were safer options in their respective price ranges, and this is what I'm going to roll out. So we spent all the $50,000, which is something that we don't normally do, but this is only a field of 144. So I'm okay with it, and we'll see if we can start turning the tide a little bit and if we can find the top of a leaderboard. All right, let me know if you have any questions about that. Tell me how much I'm screwing this up. Tweet me. It's at DFS On Demand, or leave a comment below. Talk to you guys soon. Good luck.